welcome back to the One.wmv kitchen. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of shopping today. It's my day off work, so I'm going to also be doing some cooking. So what I've decided to do is show you a whole week's meals for 4 people for less than £30. So far I've spent £22, but I will be buying extra bits and pieces as the week goes on. So we're going to be making beef stew. I've got 3 packs of beef for £10, lean stewing beef. I got a stew pack of vegetables. It's got carrots, onions, a turnip and a parsnip in there. Some of those will go in the stew. That cost me £1. Some celery, 49p. A large chicken, that will make 2 meals, a roast dinner and a chicken pie. So that's from the stew. I shall keep some back and make it into a cobbler. We'll also have some stuffed jacket potatoes. I'll show you how to make a vegetable bake, and we're going to make some chicken stock and vegetable soup with that stock. So as well as the things I've bought from the supermarket, I've also got 1 or 2 store cupboard ingredients. Gravy granules, stock cubes, beef stock cubes, a couple of bags of flour, self-raising and plain, which I've already broken into, and some suet, because we're having beef stew and dumplings today. So just to let you know, you can feed a family on a budget if you can cook, and this is what I'm here to show you how to do. Okay, so I'll get my pinny on and we'll get cracking. Right, I'm starting the beef stew. I've got 1.5 kilos of lean braising steak. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to trim any bits of fat or gristle off. Now this will take a few minutes, but it's essential to do this before you start the stew, because you don't want grotty bits in there, it's not worth it. So I'll trim these off and then we'll continue from there. Right, I've got in the big stew pan here a tablespoonful of vegetable oil, and here's the beef that I've trimmed. It's all nice and lean now. So get that into the pan, and we want to stir that around a bit so that it changes colour. These are the grotty bits that I've trimmed off. They won't be wasted because I'm going to give these to Elvis. And if you're wondering who Elvis is, it's my cat. And he will think that's an absolute feast. So we don't try not to waste anything at all. So I'm going to give that a good old stir and let it all change colour, and then we'll start to add the vegetables. The juices in the meat are running now, so I'm going to add a heaped dessert spoonful of flour, just plain flour, and 2 beef stock cubes. Give it a good old stir. I'm just going to simmer that for about a minute, just to cook the flour. Right, the flour's now cooked. So I'm going to start adding in the vegetables. I've got 3 medium-sized chopped onions, 3 carrots sliced, 3 celery sticks sliced. You can use the tough ones from the outside of the celery, it's fine for stew, because this is going to now cook for 3 hours. And by that time everything will be really tender. And finally a small turnip chopped up, or swede. We call them turnips, but really they are swedes. Proper turnips are white. I'm going to top this up now with boiling water. The next thing I'm going to add is 3 skinned and chopped tomatoes. I'll show you an easy way to peel those. To skin and chop the tomatoes, first thing I do, I slit the skins and pop them into a jug. Pour over boiling water. And then leave them to stand for 30 seconds, in which time the skins will loosen and they'll be easy to peel. But before you peel them, you've got to plunge them into cold water, otherwise you burn your fingers. This is how easily the tomatoes peel when they've been in boiling water. The skin just peels straight off. Just chop down the middle through the stalk, cut the stalk out, just make a little V shape and then chop. Right, I'm going to pop these in the pan, and as I say, simmer this whole stew for about 3 hours. I shall check after 2.5 hours whether or not the meat is cooked. And then we're going to add in some potatoes and finally the dumplings. The stew's now done. Now half of this is going to make a cobbler for tomorrow, so, or the day after, so I'm going to remove half of this before I... Right, tip in the potatoes. That's about 1 pound 4 ounce of potatoes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let those simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add the dumplings.